welcome to Three Shepherds in a Mutt. My name is Angie. If you are one of my subscribers, you already know what my channel is about. If you're new here, my channel is all about sharing advice for dog owners, care tips, general advice, health advice, and also featuring my own beloved animals, my dogs, on this channel, sharing them with you to hopefully give you a boost and give you some positive videos and positive feedback in this chaotic world, which, let's face it, there's a lot of non-positive, very negative things going on in the world right now. So trigger warning, per the title, this is about pet loss and grief. So if you're triggered by that, you might want to go ahead and click out of this video. And to my subscribers, I think I'm up to about 33 now. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. And especially related to the content of this video, I'm assuming that all of you subscribed because you had some connection to my animals, specifically to my dogs. And that means a lot to me. This video is very difficult for me to make, so I'm going to try and do it without breaking down. Thank you so much again for subscribing, and it means a lot to me. And even though my dogs don't know you're watching, they're all hams. They all love attention, so I know they do appreciate it, even though, you know, they might not be cognizant of the fact, oh hey, people are watching us on YouTube. So thank you again. And I feel like you deserve an explanation, since you did join this channel because you kind of clicked with my dogs. I'm presuming that is the reason why you joined, is because you made some kind of connection with my dogs, which is great. And that's the main reason why I'm making this video, is because I wanted to explain to you what happened, and give you that heads up that we are no longer three shepherds in a mutt. We are two shepherds in a mutt. So the basic backstory of that: in late February, our oldest dog, Sophie, she was about 13, so she was a senior dog. We already knew she had arthritis, but she had had this fall off of our couch, which isn't very high, but it is like a sectional couch. It's a big sectional couch, I should say. And even though the fall wasn't very high, we noticed, like, as soon as she fell, she wasn't able to put weight on her left hind leg. So we decided to give it a few days to see, you know, what was going on. Like, maybe if it was just the arthritis, or maybe she sprained it a little. You know, old dogs are a little more predisposed to injuries like that. So that's kind of what we were thinking. But it started to swell, and it did not get better. So we made an appointment with our veterinarian. Taking her in, I was thinking, oh, it's a bad sprain. In the back of my mind, I was thinking, well, possibly it's a break, but how in the heck could she have broken it? I mean, yes, she is an older dog, so sometimes, you know, they like I said a few minutes ago, like, they injure themselves more easily. So I was thinking, well, it could be a break, but I was hoping, like, no, I don't want it to be a break, kind of thing. So we took her into the vet. They did x-rays. They did a full physical examination. And unfortunately, it was broken. The femur was broken. And even more unfortunate, the reason that it broke was because she had pretty significant bone cancer. So we were in shock, major shock, because she was eating fine. She was, like, I remember the week I think it was the week of that she sustained the injury, I had taken her on a walk. I'd kind of slowed down on the walks because she was getting like really tired. But I was like, well, she's a senior dog. She's going to get more tired, right? But her mental energy was like up there. Like there was no sign mentally that she was going through something. She wasn't vomiting. She was going to the bathroom fine. She was eating fine. She was even playing. There's actually a video on here on my channel of her playing with the laser, and that video was taken a few months ago, but she was still doing things like that. So I was thinking, well, how could we have missed something so significant? So it was such a shock. I'm trying not to get upset. It was a shock, and she was clearly in a lot of pain. So the vet presented some options to us. One of the options would have been very aggressive treatment. The vet suspected that the bone cancer had spread to other areas of her body, meaning that, there were areas that they had an x-ray that they were probably going to find it in. But one of the options was aggressive cancer treatment, which would have bought her about 4 months. 4 months in which she would have continued to be in pain and discomfort. The leg break, one of the options for that would have been like to amputate the leg, but unfortunately the break was so far up that really wasn't an option. So she would have been going through cancer treatments and also, in severe pain from a femur fracture. And of course, I'm sure you probably know what the third option was. Euthanasia was the third option. And that was the option that the veterinarian said she thought was best. And we also, she didn't push it on us, of course, but we also talked about it and decided that that would be the best for her, because we didn't want to see her suffer even more, just to buy us, some more time, realistically 3 or 4 months. And, like I say, she's suffering. She's in that time, she's probably going to deteriorate even more with like her appetite and things like that, which at that point we hadn't seen. So, I mean, that was a good thing. That actually was a really good thing. So what the vet suggested is we take her home for like a couple of days, talk through things, be sure on our decision, because it was such like a shock mentally, emotionally. Take her home, spend some time with her, make sure we're sure on our decision, and come back and have the procedure done. So that is what we did. And looking back on it, I do think that it was the best decision for her. Sorry. It was really hard. Give me a second. We had some good last days with her. At that point, she was still eating. She didn't really, she did start developing some diarrhea. I think that was partly because of the stress of, trying to maneuver around with her fracture. But, it was only like 2 days. We got pain medication. So we got her on some good pain medication, and she was comfortable. We got to have some time with her where, like I say, her mental focus was there. So we got to have some good last memories with her and make sure she was comfortable at the same time. And then we scheduled the procedure for a couple days later, which was February the 26th. We took her in. I stayed throughout the entire procedure. My husband was not able to stay. That was his dog. So he stayed through the sedation, and then he left before the euthanasia shot was given. Um, I stayed the whole time, and she passed peacefully. The clinic was very understanding, very considerate, and they treated her with dignity and respect, which is what she deserved. I'm sorry. I told myself I wasn't gonna like break down like this, but I mean, it's still fresh. So, um that is basically the backstory to this video. And getting into like, I just wanted to share a couple of tips, well, 3 tips specifically. If you're dealing with pet loss currently, if you've experienced pet loss in the past, or maybe you're on the same journey that we were on where you know your animal is terminally, chronically ill, and it's going to happen in the future. 3 tips that will hopefully help you process that a little more and get through the steps of grief a little easier. So, one of those I would say is take time off. Now, I say that, but I know in the United States, especially if you are in the United States, it is difficult to do that. We do not have very many employee rights in the United States compared to other civilized countries. We do not have any mandatory leave like other countries do, so that can be difficult. But if you can, if you have time to take, if you have sick leave, if you have any type of leave built up with your place of employment, take time off. You know, this is a major thing that can happen to a family. And our animals are our family. So don't minimize that and say to yourself, well, you know, I'm going to be judged because, you know, my employer is going to say, well, it was just a dog. First of all, you don't owe them an explanation for taking your leave anyway. So, but don't put that guilt on yourself. Oh, well, you know, I feel like people would judge me because it's a dog. No, it's not just a dog. It's not just a cat. It's your family member. And we have those family members close to us for years. And then, unfortunately, their lives are short compared to our lives, right? So, um, you know, that loss, we know it's going to come, but there's no way to prepare yourself for that. So take that time, if you can, to have some time to yourself, to reset, to work through the grief, to process what has happened. Because, you know, it's not like you're not going to wake up the next day and be like, oh, you know, everything is fine. Um, so definitely take that time if you can. And number 2, I would say just don't shut yourself off to other people. If there's someone that you can talk to, um, if you have a therapist, bring it up in your therapy. I mean, there's no shame in bringing up to other people, hey, you know, I just lost my dog or my cat or, you know, my rabbit or my horse or whatever. You know, this channel of course is geared towards dogs, but it really doesn't matter what type of animal, what species the animal is. Don't shut yourself off to other people. Open up to other people and try and connect with them as a source of support, because especially your friends and family, they're going to give you that support, or I would hope they would give you that support. Target the people that you know are going to give you some support and say, hey, you know, I'm struggling with this. I keep thinking about it. It's affecting my sleep, it's affecting my appetite, because those things can happen. Those things can absolutely happen. And get their feedback and, you know, lean on them for that support. And I think that's often overlooked because, again, a lot of people, even owners, will say to themselves, well, I should be able to deal with this better. And, you know, I'm just going to keep it bottled up inside. That's not a good idea. So reach out to your support network. And third, but certainly not least, do something to remember your pet by, whether it's getting a photo printed of them that you really love that photo and maybe you want to get it framed or keep it in your wallet or something of that nature. If you can do paw prints, that's a great idea. A lot of people will like take the paw prints and have that as some memorabilia, keeping their collar or their leash, making like maybe a collage of pictures and memories of them and to hang up. Just whatever it's whatever you think would be the best memory for your animal. And that can also go a long way in getting you through that tough time where you've just lost them. And it takes time to get over. It's not, like I say, it's not like a quick, like, oh, I'm able to just get back to normal. No, it's going to take time. And that memorializing them really goes a long way in helping you accomplish that. And the one way we decided to memorialize Sophie is to plant a rose bush in her honor, in her name. So it will be the Sophie Rose Bush. And if you guys want to see that once we get it planted, I haven't planted anything yet because there might still be some cold days. But once we do get it planted, if you guys want to see that, I will be more than happy to show it. Just let me know in the comments below if you would like to see the rose bush. But that's what we've decided to do to memorialize our dog. So thank you for watching. And I regret that this video is such kind of a negative video, but we have a lot of positive memories for Sophie. And I even have some YouTube videos that I've gone back and I've rewatched with her, a couple of like YouTube shorts, and those have kind of helped me a lot. I'm really glad I put those up there because at the time, I didn't know that a few months later here we would be and we would be without her. So it's really good to be able to look back on those. And thank you so much for investing in my dogs. And I wish you all a happy Easter. I'm going to try and start uploading again more consistently. I've had some health problems too, so I apologize for not bringing more content of my dogs to you. But I hope in some way, if you are experiencing grief and loss, that this has helped you and the tips that I gave will help you kind of work through that. And if you have any memories of pets that you have lost and you want to get a conversation going, drop a comment down below. And again, thanks so much, and everyone have a safe and wonderful holiday coming up if you celebrate Easter. If not, still have a safe and wonderful going into spring, and the temperatures are warming up if you're somewhere cold, and we will catch you later.